so that's the car. Alright, we have the key now, so we should take a look inside the garbage pail.
This trash container is locked.
Alright.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content.
What?
Just a feeling. A warning from some point of view.
I'm probably gonna find a body in here.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Okay.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Alright. Hobo Cop style.
Wow. An Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
Wait, is that a gun?
It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I'll just sell it.
No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings.
There's gotta be something in here.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Right.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages.
My
somehow
badge might
feels
be in
familiar.
here.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
I'm really gonna find clothes
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
Okay. Bag trousers.
These are marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Alright, let me take a
Something
look.
slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of ribbed-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
It pays to be a hobo. Okay.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
I think that's all, I think.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash.
You
It
think
could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Alright, you think someone from the gig probably involved?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Alright, we'll ask.
The lieutenant nods. It's just organic waste.
Okay.
What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels.
Is it my
It's
badge?
shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes. Written in a man's
Is it my badge?
Officer, is that your
No.
paperwork?
It can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, and that's why I flushed my cop life down the toilet.
Well, lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Alright, let's take a look at what we got.
It's
Interact.
just a racist mug. What's there to read here?
I mean,
Not much.
let's read it.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm not going to use it as an example of what not to do. Let's see. The mug will be useful by denouncing it. I can earn political capital into...
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective.
Alright.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Alright, the
An
clip.
aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Hey, Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your Kinkima.
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Alright, what kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
I've probably solved 0.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Alright, white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in here? What's that about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
So I suck as a cop.
What do you mean? Is that all?
That's... it?
says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Is 2 cases a week good, Lieutenant? Probably not.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I burned out, alright.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There's a naming convention?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done.
Kim,
Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to have some naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean non-numeric ones.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have a case, the squared bullet hole murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
I have an open official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
All right.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
All right, cross out
A
the ones I
satisfying
finished.
slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you.
Accomplishments.
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hangman?
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What type of forms are these?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct
A
fine.
monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Is it my badge?
Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
Alright. So... Wait, weren't those the officer precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
I don't know what to say.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with. But it's the one you got. So sorry.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I'll put the
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
Please be my badge.
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
My name is Harry.
Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Oh, fuck, she's dead, isn't she?
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear.
I had a wonderful relationship.
You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
What the fuck happened? I just fell down. What? Am I dead? What just happened to me? Are you?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal
What the fuck is
ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Who's that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah, I was experiencing emotion.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow.
Yeah, I'm depressed. I get it.
Because it's always there.
Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Was that the X something? The
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No, it was very pretty.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Okay, something bad happened. I went into a drinking binge depression. I get it.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is it? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you.
It's Kim.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Kim. Where am I?
The upholstered cabin of
I
Lieutenant
can't-
Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket. The air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil.
Thanks.
Cold water runs down your chin.
Thanks for getting me up.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
I did not know.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I came in contact with the burnt ruins of a past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Let's solve this case.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
What the fuck?
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. Without resistance or sound, it's slightly. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Alright, I'm here.
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, like two baby crocodiles.
These don't look like normal cop shoes.
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are.
How do they fit?
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now.
Shut up. Don't tell me what to do. Alright, who put the clothes in the trash? Alright. These are found in white checks. The whites are available to you now. Alright. Alright, I could get a level up. I feel like I need more hand-eye coordination. Alright. I want to read this. Alright, my name is Harry.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out
This is Precinct 57. How may
sorry,
I...
wrong one.
57?
in the cabin.
How do I turn on the
Alright.
headlights?
Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
The dashboard lights up with
Yep,
orange.
yep.
The lights unfold with a little.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
Okay.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Alright, let's look at the street
The
grid.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we here on this map?
Let me see. Right here.
I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
Okay, 18.
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200. The last row has 3 perforations.
3?
That's it.
What do all these poles mean, Kim?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18? I've done this for 18 years?
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth?
Do you really think I have any idea?
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got...
A
let's-
million of them.
Wow, more than 200.
Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot. even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes,
How do you handle the strain?
everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
Yeah, I get it.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Okay, I just need to suppress the urge to throw up. Alright, so I'm a sorry cop, I'm a boring cop, I'm a communist, I'm a fascist. Alright, save game. I still haven't found my badge, have I? Let's go talk to that dude. Maybe he can tell us who was here last. Oh, we can go there. Okay, let's quick save. Let's go talk to you real quick.
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has the keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Yes?
Right, who put the throat in trash? This may take a while. Alright, let's do a quick save. Hi, person, I have some questions.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Kubek. Please. It's not funny.
Okay, hello sir, do you have time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
You have some impressive pots here.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
Well, I don't need to say anything else. Stay masculine.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
It's part of the world in rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know.
Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Alright, side tiny mission. Away! Hey, where does that door go?
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those.
Where does that blue door go?
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Where does it go?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. He looks at the dust on him.
Yes?
Find a way into the secret. You wouldn't know anything about the secret passageway, would you?
Hello again, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
It's an easy ask for. Anybody would help.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
I'll promise to buy it back once I get more money.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back. I hope you're able to pawn that old trinket.
You know what? No, here.
Oh, thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
I can't do it.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
At least I got XP for that. I'm too nice to do that. All right. Oh, there's money there. Oh, there's a... Can I...
Yes?
No. Okay, so he doesn't know what's there. Oh, I didn't talk to this dude. Hey there, sir. I have some questions about the murder. I guess... Oh. You doing all right, sir?
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
I probably is not a good idea to wake him up. Alright, so I can reattempt some of these, right? Acquire. I'm gonna try to...
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweep...
You are correct. I'm not sure. There are plenty of...
You could follow the tracks south. There seems to be a canal there.
Alright, let's go follow it. So they went that way and then they went this way. Oh, what's this? Tire tracks leading onto the roof. Interesting. They couldn't have gone that way. It's... Oh! Health thing. I could use this. Nope. Oh, that's the pawn shop. I don't really have anything to pawn. Ooh. Fingerless gloves. Hi there.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
Do you know what caused the wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershell. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Do you know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Got some food?
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Okay, thanks.
G'day to you, officers.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal.
What's...
Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted.
What's summer and butter?
Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Goat milk butter. The Samaran terrain makes it easier to raise goats than cows, and the local goat farmers produce high-quality meat and dairy staples that add variety to other nations' diets. It's an acquired taste. Just some tasteless advertising at the bottom of a canal. No use rubbernecking now.
Alright, I'll come back and try it later.